What the haters talking about?
What's up, family? Question. You have a young child, let's say a 2-year-old daughter who is perhaps terrible twos. She's crying her eyes out. She wants you to pick her up while you're standing up, but she's heavy to you. And she continues to cry. Her mother is pleading with you, pick her up. What do? So this guy that I saw in this video, I don't know his name or where he's from or whatever, but the video starts with this guy, he's exasperated. He's like, man, I'm not gonna pick her up. She's heavy, like my arm's hurting. The girl continues to cry. So dude finally improvises and takes a seat. And he said, I'll sit down and pick her up. So he sat down and he reached out for her. And at first she was hesitant, but then she finally walked over to him. And, he held her, and it's just a beautiful moment. It's something beautiful to see. But it reminded me of how how demanding little kids can be. They all got their little ways, right? My daughter, when we was trying to wean her off of her binky, we had to she loved that binky, so, it was a crutch. So we had to try to wean her off of it. So the way we did it is that she fell in love with this puppy. And we told her, if we get the puppy, she's gonna have to give her binky up in exchange for the puppy. So, off the rip, she thought about it, she said, okay. We went, looked at the dog and everything. She held the dog, fell in love with the dog. This is when she's like, oh man, she had to be one and some change. So she had the dog, and let me see, I'll tell you exactly how old she was. Yeah, she was 1. So we go get the binky, we go get the dog, and she falls in love with the dog. Now, fast forward into the night. It's bedtime. She's tired. She wants that binky. So she starts crying and crying and crying and crying. I want the binky. I say, no, we have to give the dog back. If you want the binky back, we have to get the dog back. And she was like, give the dog back. She was like, give the dog back, Like, no, we can't give the dog back. The binky is gone. We can't find it. We can't find it. So she just cried herself to sleep. And the next day, she was fine. She had a dog, and we was winging her off that binky, and it worked. I said that to say that this worked to perfection in dude's situation. He was like, something got to give. This girl is getting too heavy to just walk around holding. So he was like, I'll sit down and hold her. And at first she was hesitant, but when she realized that he was not going to stand up there and hold her, she finally relented, and she walked over there and she sat down on his lap, because ultimately what she wanted more than anything was her father's loving arms. She wanted her father to hold her. Beautiful thing. I can say this. This goes further than just the 2 situations that I just spoke of. A lot of kids have these security blankets, so to speak. For the betterment of your child's overall development, certain things, kids need to be weaned. They need to be weaned against. They need to be weaned off of as soon as possible. You have to do that for the overall development of your child, no matter how much it pains you to hear your child cry or to see your child unhappy. It is your job as a parent to prepare your child for the real world and to help them in their development stages. And there are stages, there are levels to development, and you have to adhere to those levels or else your kid's gonna fall behind socially. So you gotta do it. If you really love your child, you have to do it, even if it hurts you to do it. You must do it for the sake of their overall development. While watching that video, I couldn't help but think that hopefully dude is appreciative of that little girl wanting him to hold her, wanting to be around him. Because at some point, if you have small children, they're going to become big children one day. And they're not going to want anything to do with you. Trust me, it'll get to that stage. Because they're going to want to be around their friends. They're going to want to be around anybody but mama and daddy. And that's fine. That's part of overall development. If you did a good job, there's no need to worry. They'll find their way back home. Believe that. No more talk.
What the haters talking about?